fighter deep
I
dive.
have loved Invincible since as far as I can remember.
I grew up with fighting games.
We
Somehow,
know he loves
I never
Invincible.
stopped, so I just naturally progressed into tournaments from there, became a pro player. I qualified top 3 at EVO multiple times, and now I'm here.
I've been a member of the FGC competing on 10 to 12 years, but like a lot of people, I was introduced to Invincible with the animated series. I'm really excited to see this genre of video game expressed through the Invincible world.
I
love what I'm
heavily
saying.
used the comic books for inspiration. A lot of like season 3 was sourced for some of the dust and smoke effects. And the VFX team has definitely added our own little twist to it, just to make it just as unique.
I think Invincible is all about gore, it's about spectacle, and we're really hoping to capture that in our game.
The more punches you land, the more blood is spewed. It becomes a bloodbath.
The first thing I would think about when we're
crazy.
really putting together any project, but especially this project, is how we're going to treat the characters right. How to really like make an authentic experience in the Invincible universe.
I love this
Go
guy.
through not only what the big moments that are happening in the show, but we also go through the backstory.
Lead
All the different
combat
comic books.
designer.
Every time they've made any sort of appearance in any sort of media whatsoever.
We pull poses directly from the show, the comic, so it feels good for
That's
the
good. They
player.
brought people from
I
the
think
comic
we've
and the
chosen
show.
the strongest fighters of the universe. You get to really see them for their fight style.
Something that fans always appreciate is little spots for lore and Easter eggs and things like that to pop up.
Yeah, the rushdown
My favorite
was
reference we got
crazy.
in there is Invincible. You guys are fucking dead.
That's gonna be fire. Please put that
I
in
love
the
that we
game.
were able to put it in the game too.
Mark Grayson, Invincible. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be very good.
Mark is very unrestrained, he's inexperienced, but he has a lot of heart in the way he fights. Like, he puts his all into everything.
Tell Angstrom he can kiss my ass.
I'm glad this person's on the
Favorite play
combat
by far.
design. That's
He just
nice.
gets up in player 2's business so fast.
Because of his speed, like his dynamic capabilities, we wanted to skew a little bit more towards a rushdown style character.
He's got up close stuff that he can hit you with, but he's also good at a range as well.
Rushing attacks, moves that are somewhat unsafe if used incorrectly, but very rewarding if you give it your all like the character would.
He's not a trained fighter, so he's a little looser in his movements.
He can do ground combos into air combos, back
Oh
down to
my
ground
God.
combos, and really just kind of like keep the opponent on their toes.
Mark
He's
Grayson.
got a low barrier of entry, and will meet you as your skill increases all the way to the highest level.
Okay. So who's that with
Invincible
Invincible?
punch, which is a punch where he actually lunges and dashes like it's almost the full
That's the
screen. And he
Invincible
does, like, a triple
punch?
Like it's one of his first punches that he uses in the show. So we wanted to have that call out there. He has an anti-air move that we're calling Geyser.
Anti-air called
and it's actually another
Geyser.
call out to one of the other moments in the show. You see him step off the air. We actually gave him a kick. So it's like a spinning flip kick that actually hits the opponent overhead.
Nailed it.
His first super is what we call the Viltra missile, where he really leans into his speed.
He like flies
Viltra
all over the
missile is
screen. He sort
crazy.
of just like travels everywhere, and that's pulled straight from panels from the comics and things we've seen in the show.
And then ends with like this really strong like stomp. This is a superhero, like this is what he does. His second one was another call out to the show, called it Perfect Landing. The idea was when he was first starting to learn how to fly, he crash landed straight into the ground.
And whenever you can, launch his ultimate.
Just fucking die!
Yeah, no, this is gonna be too fire. I'm loving what I'm hearing
One of the
from the KI
big
team.
kind of key moments that we saw was his fight with Conquest. He was just so overtaken
I'm
by rage
actually
that he
confused.
just went
They're
into this
actually
series
putting
of
this fight in
headbutts.
here.
And so the name of the move is the Meeting of the Minds. If it actually defeats the opponent, it triggers what we call an overkill. So as he headbutts the opponent, you see their head just explode.
What the heck?
It's glorious.
That's glorious!
If you want to play Mark, you should make use of his rushdown while keeping an eye on what is punishable and what is not.
If he ever gets like knocked away, he's easily going to be able to re-engage the opponent. Like
You just hit the special button, boom. Invincible uppercut comes out. You can get a combo from it. You can jump cancel out of it. A lot of options there for sure.
So yeah, he's
This
definitely
game
my
is
main.
gonna be
Then
fire.
we put him on your team, I think, is where you should start with him.
Zero quit. I love characters like that. I think he's probably going to have a spot on my team no matter where he ends up on a tier list.
Just 2 seconds.
Invincible versus
Invincible is best suited for a fighting game, in my opinion.
Let's do this!
Robert Kirkman.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
These guys were able to execute lightning in a bottle in a way that I've never seen in the industry before.
I love this shit. It's so good.
I can't wait for the fans to play this game.
I'm not your son anymore. I'm the guy who's going to throw you off this planet for good. I love you, Eve. You make me hurt you. I'm not holding back.
That's the ultimate dimension.
My first
Mark
impressions of
Mark
playing
wouldn't say
Invincible
that.
Versus was a huge moment for me.
Oh yeah.
I've had a lot of like really cool experiences. I've been on sets and watched my comics get turned into TV shows. But to see the characters of Invincible in a fighting game, I don't know, it was so magical and so exciting.
Yeah.
I cried.
Robert Kirkman. We need a Walking Dead fighting game next.
I think one of the key elements to Invincible, be it the comic or the show, is the insane and absolutely brutal fights. It's kind of our marquee thing, and we do these absolutely epic battles that you experience on your couch that hopefully are blowing you away. But this game is really the first time that you can actually experience these and feel them as you're living them.
I feel you, Robert
To
Kirkman.
be
I
honest,
feel
some
you.
of the fights in the game can get kind of more intense than the things that we've been able to accomplish in the show, which is really exciting for me.
It's something that dials up the intensity of action, the intensity of violence, the intensity of combat. And to me, one of the most impactful things in a fighting game is your first impression. And that's the thing that my brain always goes
Max
to.
is
When you
going
press
crazy
buttons, when you
already.
do stuff,
Claiming
what
you
is
don't
the
know what's good with
response?
the game.
This
Tell
big
what's up with
dude.
the game.
Oh my god, that assist is crazy.
And yeah, watching a character, you know, a 3v3 tag fighter with so much gore, that's like the first thing that was like, wow, this is different. This is something I've never seen before.
Like most fighting games nowadays, you don't have the opportunity to create something completely new, right? Most of these fighting games that exist, they're very high in the iterative number of whatever their series is. And if you deviate from that too much, the fan base kind of revolts against you. They're like, dude, that's not my same game that I'm growing up to be liking.
Right.
But in this opportunity we have, we can do whatever we want, right?
I think what the
Yeah.
FGC is looking for,
Invincible
kind of
versus
similar to
is
what other
hitting.
people are looking for. It's just like, give me something new. Give me something I haven't seen before.
Yo.
Especially people that are fans of Invincible, they're gonna be like, oh wow, I've never seen it in this light.
I am ending you. I see it all now.
Let's get it.
Every single
That is super is going crazy.
I'm the narrative director on the project. That means that it's my responsibility to make sure that this game is a kick-ass story.
Yeah.
And all the characters sort of like shine through,
I'm
feel
listening to
authentic
you
to the
guys, but
Invincible
I like
universe.
Cower before me, half-breed. Skill is waiting on a full-blood Viltrumite.
There's a lot of fighting and a lot of matchup that are really cool. It really works as a fighting game, but I think the coolest thing about it is that there's a lot of matchups that never really occurred in the comic or the television show, and you actually get to see those in a fighting game, which is really exciting to me.
Building this game, it was critical to be authentic to the IP. So when you take a character from the show or for the comics and you examine their personality, like the way that they move, the way they react to others, you look at what are the opportunities where I can translate that and really amplify it. A lot of times what we'll do is we'll break down scenes, we'll look at like, would they move like that? Does Mark have that ability? Would he do that thing? How would he respond to someone if they defeated one of his teammates? How would he introduce himself to someone new that he's never met before? Or someone he's quite familiar with, who he thinks is, you know, downright fucking evil. Sorry for the F-bomb.
One of the things
I respect
that
it, though.
I find it most
That's how you
challenging
felt
to
about the
figuring out
game.
our characters and environments is how we make them feel unique. We do want the characters to have the same sort of body type, the
I'm
same
happy
overall
about
proportions, the same
this,
silhouette.
whole
But then
studio.
at that point, when you get to that baseline, it's a question of how do I build upon it? How do I add those secondary, tertiary details from the rips in the clothes to the blood stains to the smaller details in the hair and the facial features. We want it to feel like Mark through and through. And that's exactly
I
why
respect
it's
that. At least
exciting,
the team
because
put
it's a
the love in
challenge.
it.
Skybound is a really hands-on company, and it just adds a level of authenticity that I think is kind of unparalleled.
So we're still doing some polish on it, but that's That's probably gonna be one of the bigger ones that we do. We really wanted to stand out with.
That's amazing. I got to Skybound and I was catching up with Mike Willette, and I just said, what was the happiest time in your career? And he said, working on Killer Instinct, Double Helix Games, making a fighter with the most talented people we know.
I said, hey Patrick, I want to start another studio, and I want to work on combat fighting games, things that we love, things that are part of like our DNA.
And he's like, that's my dream. That's what I want to do.
We decided to call the studio Quarter Up. It pays homage to an era that we came from, like the arcade era. But it's really a statement that says like, we're here and we're up for the challenge. We got next.
I've been working with Mike Willette, our EP. I just watched season 1 of Invincible because he had mentioned, maybe you should watch this. And I was like, the characters are there. They're amazing characters. They're characters that are going to really shine in a fight game.
Getting it.
And so for us, that was a lot of the hard work is kind of
lot of these
that
people
part
came from
done
the
already
show,
with the
so that's
IP.
really good.
Now
They
we just need to make
comics.
it. And so we started reaching out.
And what happened after a lot that's actually in this game too. In a 3v3 game, you sort of like can touch the opponent once and they're toast, man. It's just, it's kaputski for that character. I really dig the fact that there's so much defense and offensive options in this game. But the commitment to having a full 3v3 tag fighter from, a developer that hasn't done that before leads me to hope there's going to be a whole bunch of new concepts and things we haven't seen.
The process of building this team, it's been fun, but it wasn't just getting a bunch of all the old heads back together again. It's finding new blood, people that either are tied to the FGC or hyper talented and really passionate about their work and what they do and about the IP.
Fan art is actually how I got this game. As an artist, I'm always gravitate towards characters that I find interesting. My relationship with Invincible was pretty much love at first sight, both in terms of the characters, but also just the animated sequences, storytelling, the world, everything just felt super unique. And one of the things I'm most excited about this role is the opportunity to take these established characters that you've seen in the comic and you've seen in the show and find a way to make them feel like an inherent part of the game that we're creating without jeopardizing what made them so great to begin with.
I've been a fan of Invincible since I was, young. Like,
yeah, this is a real Invincible.
I've been a fan of Invincible
fan, like my cousin.
And I've been reading these comics like since the beginning, and I just know them like the back of my hand. And so there's all these like little tidbits and things that I'll pick up on that you might not even ever think about. And so a lot of times people are coming to me with questions like, where Mark can bleed from? Like, does Mark bruise? How much blood can we have? Like, where is that blood coming from? It's usually the orifices. It's always the orifices.
This guy is about all the little details. I respect it.
I don't know. Never got to do that before. I've done a lot of weird stuff, but not that. How I got involved with Invincible Versus is a pretty crazy story.
Mike here, Dave, also with Dave, and we're going to be doing an FGC very first look with Rip. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Rip is in the house.
I got invited over to Mike's house, like it wasn't like a studio or something. So I go over to his house, I knock on the door, he opens it up, I walk in, they have a TV set up there, and it just says Invincible on. I was like, oh damn, we're doing Invincible.
Have a seat, dude. Oh my God.
I saw it super duper early. Like, you have to understand, it did not look anything like it looks now. So originally when I first played it, there was only 2 characters. It was just Mark and Eve, and it was supposed to be a tag fighter, 3-on-3s. And then I remember I went home and I came back for the next test, and I was like, I had this shower thought where I was like, you guys are the KI devs. Why don't you guys bring some of KI into a tag fighter? Because that's never been done. So then the next one I get a DM from Mike Willette. He's like, this could work. He's like, you should apply.
This old blood again. Which is like so missing in all the T-fighter games in general.
I'll take a sip of water when I goddamn feel like I need to take a sip of water. I don't need you directing me on when I take a sip of water.
That was mad funny.
I think this is just the biggest and best Invincible game that we've ever done. This is a huge fighting game that has a ton of really complex work being put into it to make it the biggest and best Invincible game ever.
So we're trying to put all of what we got into the game. Every dollar gets spent into making the game better. We love the world that's been created.
I love what this team is doing. There's a ton of passion.
Everyone understands the mission, like what we're trying to do. Like
comic readers,
and just bringing their A game, bringing their talent, like every day. We want this to be a tournament quality game that's played for years and years to come.
Years
so
and
the
years
way that we
to
look
come.
at it is it
has to have
Invincible
is taking over the
and
world.
gameplay and hype moments It has to have art that is not just evocative of the IP, but will stand the test of time on its own. When the FGC gets their hands on the game, what I hope happens is they get a ton of excitement. They get to see familiar faces that they want to dig into. And critically, I hope they go, oh, I want to lab this game. I want to lab this game for hours. That would make me so happy. It's not just the hype and excitement from like doing big combos or the brutality, but for them to really want to dig into the systems that are there. Because I think that's what's going to keep them there for the long haul.
Oh, that was sick. That was sick.
And I don't mean just satisfied or like, oh, that's great. It's like, no, it's got to be fantastic. It's got to blow people's socks off.
Just fucking die!
Let's get it. Let's get it. She need that. Marcus fire. Yeah, this team though is looking insane. This game is gonna be so big.